Hi, I'm James, and today we're looking at Warlord Games' air combat game, Blood Red Skies. Now, Blood Red Skies came out a little while ago now. I started to get into it after I picked up one of the mystery boxes. You may have seen my reviews for that. And in that, I got a box of Spitfires. They're 1 to 200 scale, and I thought they looked quite nice. I know there's been a few issues with some people saying about bent parts in the plastic, and I believe the set is going to be retired and a newer version in the new resin coming through. Same with the 109s. Now, I decided to pick up the start set. You can actually get the basic rules as a free PDF from Warlord Games website. Well worth a look. I looked into them and thought actually they look simple enough. Air combat games tend to be complex. Let's make no bones about it. And it's very hard to represent 3 dimensions. Now, Warlord have done it in a very strange way, but it makes it playable. We'll have a look at that, and you'll see how that works in a minute. Now, I got very confused at first. I ordered this set, which comes with a box of Spitfire Mark IIs and some BF-109 Emils. Box of each of those with 6 in each. I've just pulled 2 out from each. Actually, I'm cheating slightly. The 2 Spitfires are from a previous box. I've had time to paint them up. I'm not 100% happy with them. The stickers for the roundels on the wings I'm not happy with. I'm probably going to free paint those, although I believe there are transfers that you can now get. So you get a box of the 2 aircraft, and you also get the rule book. Now the rule book is greatly expanded. They've added in a lot of extras. It becomes much more a case of you get rules for almost everything, particularly ground attack, which wasn't in the original game. It's also incorporating the rules for jet aircraft for Korea. I believe you can acquire those these days. So let's actually have a quick look at the rule book. Okay, it's the usual lovely illustrations. You've got cards on the 2 covers for different types of ground target. You've got a set of each of those front and back. There's also a set of templates within it you've got 2 cloud banks, you've got damage markers, you've got turning template, things like that. So it's a lovely illustrated set of rules. Now it says it's for 2 or more players. I found it plays really, really well solo. It is a game that you can play solo quite realistically. So it talks about the different aircraft, and you get the different aircraft, or different pilots rather, being rated between rookie, which is level 2, average at level 3, veteran at 4, or an ace at 5. And obviously the better you are, the more ability you've got. Aircraft have got statistics cards. You can see one there. On the first side you've got a little bit of history about it and what year it was introduced, and the points cost, and then on the back side you've actually got the statistics. So the first statistic up the top is firepower. It's got a rating of 1. Second one is agility. Okay, it's got a rating of 3. These are all between 1 and 3. And then a speed. Now it gives you the actual top speed, which is 357 miles an hour, which equates to a move of 7, which means I can move up to 7, but I have to move at least half of that rounded up, so at least 4. Okay, so we've got that. And interestingly, the 109 has got identical statistics. It's fractionally slower, but still a speed of 7, which means if all other things being equal, the Spitfire gets the advantage. So that tells you a little bit about there. How to play the game. So we'll look at that. It's full of little bits of history, such as we've got the 10 rules of air fighting there, which Sailor Malin created in 1940. Talks about being able to tail an aircraft, what to do on tight initiative, what you can do each turn, how to do a shooting attack, shooting position, outmaneuvering, that's quite useful, and how to win. That's the rules. That is the basic rules. You've then got the expanded rules, which brings in aircraft and pilot traits. Now I'm not using them for this game, I'm just doing this as a quick introduction. So you get all the different, talks about all the bits with cards, it gives you sort of the positive and negative traits for aircraft, brings in rules for multi-engined aircraft, aircraft with turrets, the MiG alley, which is the jet aircraft ones, and airstrike. This is the ground attack section, and dealing with flak there. You can see there's quite a bit there. A bit on tournament and competitive play. I've not really looked at that in any depth. I'm not a big competitive player. I'm a fun player. We've got 11 scenarios. 4 were in, say 5 which are in the basic game, because 12 scenarios, because one scenario 0. So it talks about what each one is, and gives you an example setup from it as well. So it talks about how you set everything up, how you choose your pilots and so on. You can random quality pilots. If you're attacking ground attack, the targets. Something I like, which is bringing in all the trait and theatre cards, making them historically accurate. I thought that was quite good. Then scenario special rules, and then you actually start on the different scenarios. You can see there's quite a double page basically for each. Then once you got through that, it gives you the cards that have been in most of the sets already, and some flak cards. That carries on for a few pages. You've then got an index. I always like an index in a set of rules, and a quick reference sheet. Always going to be useful. Now, like I said, nice and simple set of rules. Nice set. The only thing I found odd that was missing from it, there were no dice. So I've just used my own dice. Now with these, you're trying to roll a symbol, so I'm going to just very simply treat a 6 as the symbol, which is either a hit or a success basically. Now aircraft, you can, as we said, you've got different skill levels. You can see that I've got a skill level 4 pilot and a skill level 2 pilot for the RAF, whereas the 2 German ones I've just put at skill 3. So actually points cost, they're completely equal. Now aircraft have got 3 positions. Okay, you've got the aircraft tilted back, which is advantaged. You've got a neutral position, and then you've got a disadvantaged position, and you can only shoot at an aircraft that is at a lower step view. This is how they incorporated the altitude in. So if I'm advantaged, then I can shoot at either. If I'm actually at the normal, I can only shoot at the disadvantage, and if I'm disadvantaged, I can't shoot. So it's all about getting your aircraft into the right place at the right time. Now, each turn you can actually use the advantage. Now, using an advantage drops you down 1 level, so either from advantage to normal or normal to disadvantaged, and that does you can do one of 2 things. You can either, instead of doing just a 45-degree turn at the end of your move, you can do a 180-degree turn at any point during the move. Now, if you've got an advantaged aircraft, say in that position, there's nothing stopping you burning that advantage, completing your move, and shooting at a disadvantaged aircraft. So being advantaged can have a massive benefit. You can only actually shoot down aircraft that are disadvantaged. A hit will knock it down 1 level. Okay, that's relatively straightforward. Okay, once you've completed your burning advantage, so the other advantage you can do is you can dive to gain 6 inch to your move. So you can get really fast bursts of speed effectively by diving. Now your pilot actions, once you've done your move, you can choose one of them. You can either shoot, okay, and you get 2 chances to shoot. You can shoot and both. You can shoot at the start of your move before you do anything, and you can shoot at this point, or you can outmaneuver, where you try and actually put an enemy aircraft down one level. Or you can climb, which puts your advantage level back up. It really is that simple. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to clear the boxes and the book out the way, and we're going to give you a quick demo of a couple of turns. See how it goes. So we'll have basically a straight head-on encounter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll as per one of the scenarios to see what position they start in. 1 or a 2 you're going to be disadvantaged, 5, 6 advantaged. So we'll start there. So he's in normal, he's disadvantaged. Okay, that's not good. So he's normal and he's disadvantaged as well. So actually that is quite balanced. Okay, so the way it starts, we start by looking at the advantaged aircraft. There aren't any. So we now move on to the normal aircraft, and it then starts on initiative. So we've got initiative 3 here, which beats the 2. So it's this German chance to move first. So now he's got a possibility of getting at that British aircraft, which is a high ability one. So we've got a maximum move of 7. So all you do is you lay this down and move to the relevant point. Not perfect because you have it slightly dislodging it. And let's see if I'm in range. Unfortunately, no. So if I'm within 9, I could try and disadvantage the other aircraft, but I'm not. So what I'll do for my action is go up to advantaged. That means it's going to be impossible for them to shoot at me. So we now carry on with the normal, and we've got the 2. So he gets to move. So I think what we'll do, I'm not going to go as far. I'm going to go at the minimum speed, and what I'm then going to do is turn. And all you do to turn, you put this down, and you can turn anywhere up to the next arrow. So I'm actually going to turn full on there, and I could try and disadvantage him. I think I'll do that. If he's within 9, we can try that. So yeah. Now we compare the skills. The RAF is lower, so it's down to the German player now. He has to make an agility check. He gets 3 dice for his skill. He also gets 3 dice for his agility, and needs to roll 1 6 or more. Okay, he's got 1, so it didn't succeed. If it had succeeded, he would have dropped down to normal. Okay, so it's quite quick and easy. So we're now on to the disadvantaged aircraft, and we've got the RAF pilot there. Now, decisions. I'm going to be in a very awkward position here if I'm not careful, but I haven't got any advantage to burn. So all I'm going to do is fly the minimum distance straight forward and gain advantage. Okay, so that leaves the last pilot, the German pilot. So he's going to go flat out to keep going there. Now I could try and reduce one, but actually I think it's more important to get up so I can't be shot. So that's the end of turn 1. Okay, I should have been using these to indicate which ones have been done. I'll do it from this turn. It's when you're talking you actually end up not considering things. So we start with the German aircraft 3 because it's advantaged. Now it's a head-on attack there. Okay, now head-on attack is slightly different, because on a head-on attack then you actually can shoot back regardless of the relative advantage. So we'll do the German shot first. So he's on 3 dice plus 1 dice for the weapon, so 4 dice. I need to get a 6 or more. Okay, 2 6s. So that is actually a critical hit. Okay, that now means that I've now got to make an agility roll for the RAF. So he's on 4 dice plus a further 3 for his aircraft, but I lose 1 because it's a critical. So I need to roll a 6 on this. And we've made a 6. So he doesn't get disadvantaged, but he does generate a boom counter. Now the boom counters, once you've actually got more of these than aircraft on the table, then you have to withdraw. So that was quite successful from the German perspective. So what am I going to do? Well, the 7 will take me just past. Now I'm going to burn a level of advantage to do a 180 turn to get to there and fire again. So it's 3 dice. In fact, I can't fire because, sorry, my apologies, because he's now equal, but I'm in a much better position for next turn. And I'll mark that one because it's going to get confusing otherwise. So we now start on the, in fact I didn't do the RAF fire back either. So I'll do that one now. So he was on 4 dice plus 1 dice skill, so there was 1 hit. So let's see what the 109 does in defense. So 3 plus 1 doesn't actually make it. So he's actually now going to end. I'm not going to now do that turn because he's now otherwise he'd be disadvantaged. I'm just going to keep him there. So I think what we'll do, fly straight ahead for full speed, and we'll do a turn. Now at that point what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and disadvantage this aircraft. Because I'm a higher skill, it happens automatically, so he automatically drops to disadvantaged. Okay, that means he now doesn't get to go first. It's now the second Spitfire. So this time I'm going to go pretty much straight forward again. Not always perfect when you got all the aircraft. And I'll do a turn. And as my action, I'm going to go advantaged. That leaves this German aircraft, who probably very sensibly is going to go straight forward and gain a level of advantage. So that's turn 2 complete. You can see it is quite a fast game, this. When I did a trial game of it, I put 6 of each aircraft on the table and I was done in about an hour. So I was quite impressed how quickly it ran. So turn 3. So we start with advantaged aircraft. So we've got our aircraft there. I think what I'm going to do is a nice straightforward move, and because I'll burn advantage to do a turn up to 180, and then I've got my action, I'll use that to go back into advantaged. So that's him complete. So we now got on to the ones who are neutral. So we've got our RAF ace. I'm just going to go forward slightly with him, take him up to the half speed and turn. It's not quite clear what you do when you've got bases overlapping in the rules, but that's not exactly a major issue. And as my action, climb to advantaged. You will find this game has a lot of quick pass, back away, gain back up. So we've now got our 2 German aircraft. So I'll move the first one, gets to there, we'll execute a turn and go advantaged. And the second aircraft, very similar, minimum distance, turn and go advantaged. Okay, so looks like the cat wants to join in. Okay, he's staying out of shot at the minute, but if you hear any meows in the background, you now know why. So, next turn. So, this time I've got the ace as the highest. So I'll move him and do a turn. And there's nothing to actually spend that point. I could have done a faster turn, but I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. So it's now onto the 2 German aircraft, and because they're equal I can choose which one I want to do. I'll do the far one first, and I'm actually going to burn the advantage to do a full turn, full move, and then gain advantage as my action. And the other aircraft, I'm going to use exactly the same technique, so I'm not going to worry too much about putting it down. It's just going to repeat to there. And that's the end of the turn. So the next turn, we've got the RAF ace to go first. So I'm going a bit slower this time. Turn him in a bit. And let's see if I'm within range to disadvantage. I am, so we'll disadvantage him. So now we've got the German pilot here. Now he can see that this is an obvious attack point, so what he's going to do, go forward and disadvantage him. And again, because it's higher, it's automatic. So we've now got the 2 neutral ones. Turn in that. I'm just going to do a very quick check of the rules because I want to just confirm. Okay, yeah, I thought so. You can, because they're equal, he can't attack. But if he had been high, he would have been able to counter attack. Okay, so that just leaves the RAF. Well then, what did I think of the game? It's fast play. You can see how quickly it was running. I'm not sure I've seen all the subtleties of it yet, just using single engine fighter against single engine fighter, particularly when they were so closely matched. I think it'd be interesting to start adding in bombers and things like that. That's something I'll look at in the near future. So 110s would probably be a good starting point, and possibly a couple of bombers for them to escort. It doesn't have a quick kill mechanism. I think that's probably something that the game lacks. Lucky shots aren't really covered in this. Okay, it's not a huge failing. It's an interesting way of handling the heights and using the advantage and disadvantage. I quite like it as a mechanism. It comes on it's not quite beer and pretzels. It's just above that. I think there's a lot of tactical subtlety to it. As I said, I didn't use the cards in this one, the aircraft characteristics. I think that will be something that I'll look at. If there's enough interest, I'll probably will. And you may well see some more on this in the near future. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon for some more reviews.